Arsenal Football Club. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the MOHITALKS football channel. To be honest, I ain't even got that much energy to talk because I've just looked at our fixtures for the next 10 games. Our next 10, not 10 games, sorry, our next 10 days are absolutely gargantuan, absolutely massive. We're playing Everton at home, Leverkusen at home, and then Man City in a Carabao Cup final. Look at our fixtures. These are season-defining fixtures for us. Last season, we dropped points at home to Everton. The last Carabao Cup final we were in, the last Carabao Cup final that we were in 2018 to the same Man City team, we lost 3-0. I remember that game. Like, after the first goal, I just switched it off. After that Mustafi mistake, I don't even know why I gave us a chance of winning that final. Seeing Mustafi just getting pushed slightly in the back by Aguero and falling to the floor. I can't believe we spent 35 million on him. 35 million back in the day was a lot of money. You know? So literally the next 10 games, the next 10 days for us is massive. We can either be 10 points clear, quarterfinal Champions League, and won a trophy for the first time in like 6 years, 7 years. Or 4 points clear only, out of the Champions League, and no trophy. You know, and these are the moments, these are the times that we prayed for as Arsenal Football Club. We prayed for times like this. So it's up to the Declan Rices, the Erdegards, the Ezes, the Sakas, the Martinellis, the Gabriels, the Salibas, the Yokerezes to stand up and be counted. You know? These are the times that once you win that first trophy, you start smelling, right? It's like once you earn your first salary or your first big paycheck, right? You're like, I can buy the nice things that I want. You know, they need to apply that same analogy to football, right? Once they get that first trophy and they smell it and they taste it and the plaudits that come with it. Well, let's be honest, man, a lot of footballers in general are very narcissistic, right? Because you have to be to get to where you want to be. You don't get to the elite level of football by being some pally guy who doesn't believe in himself, right? So I'm sure they have tremendous belief in themselves. And they want them plaudits that come with winning a trophy. They want that taste of glory. You know, they want to be on the newspapers, the channels, blah, blah, blah. The kids are watching the channels like, oh, look at my daddy's won a trophy for Arsenal for the first time in X amount of years. A lot of these men will go down as legends for the club if the next 10 days, 2 weeks, 21 days goes according to plan, you know? And the worst thing of the Man City fixtures is that it's just before an international break. Just before an international break. Like, for us fans, it can be a glorious 2 weeks where we don't even mind the international break, or it can be absolute hell. And I pray to God in this holy month that it turns out to be a month of glad tidings and good news for all. Like, and it's just after the Eid holidays also. So, as Arsenal fans, when we're attending the games, we need to be as loud as we can be. As loud as we can be and as high-pitched our voices can be, you know? And me having suffered, like, I've been through the Carling Cup final lost to Birmingham City. Right, them last minute goals, like it broke my heart. And then I'm seeing Koscielny's head getting shoved by that prick of a Birmingham City player. Right, and then I've been through that Carabao Cup final loss to Chelsea where Diaby kicked John Terry in the face. And then I was with us through that FA Cup run that we went on. Right, we won the first FA Cup and then we won another 2 or 3. Like literally, we went back to back in the FA Cup. And if you remember that FA Cup run for us, like going to penalties with Wigan, last minute equaliser against Wigan, getting 2-0 down in the final to Hull City, to Liam Rosenior's team, right? We have suffered. right? As Arsenal fans, I've been through the mud, yo. I've been through the pain and the heartache. That's why I'm saying that like thinking about these next 10 days make me feel sick, right? And the good thing is I'm not even eating, so I don't even feel the food in my stomach, you know. So being through that FA Cup final, I understand these guys' nervousness in the title because you should have seen our nervousness in the FA Cup final, bro. We were losing to Wigan and Hull City. Forget about competing with Man City and playing against top 16 teams in the Champions League and drawing away from home to Leverkusen, which I don't. Drawing away from home in the Champions League knockout tie is not bad, right? So these next 10 games are absolutely massive, right? Man City haven't beaten us since 22-23, right? Since 22-23, they haven't beaten us in the league. Since 23-24, they've beaten us in, I think, was it there? No, actually, 22-23 was the last time they beat us. They haven't beat us in 23-24 or 24-25. They're potentially going to get knocked out of the Champions League, right? So they're going to have the extra drive and fire, or they're going to be mentally shattered. It's one of the two, you know. And the Premier League, man, they need to do something about the amount of games that Premier League teams have, yo. My proposal in general for Carabao Cup is that the top 5 teams, the teams in the Champions League, should not be competing in the Carabao Cup because the effects it has. Like, I think it's only France else who has a fourth trophy, but Spain doesn't have it, Germany doesn't have it, right? Italy doesn't have it. So it's just for some reason, England's the only one who has it, right? And it should be either top 5 don't play or the top 5's under 21s are the ones playing because the reason why we get top 5 Champions League in England is because of coefficient. And if our coefficient suffers, it's gone back to top 4. Top 4 means less money for the broadcasters, less money for the clubs. Understand? A Carabao Cup, I think you get like 400k or 500k for winning it. It's not even worth it to clubs. For the lower league clubs, yes, but the top 6, 7 clubs is not worth it. You know. So yeah, man. Arsenal players, the Declan Rices, the Zubimendi's, the Ezes, the Sakas. This is the time that you etch your name into Arsenal history books, potentially. A massive season. We don't want to be one of those teams that gets to 4 finals and loses all of them. Like, I dread that we are pushing so hard only to collapse at the last minute. So, guys,